doesn't feel real.
It's still sinking in for us.
Yeah. I think we're going to celebrate tonight, definitely, once it's had time to sink in. But yeah, it's really awesome. It's good to know that the insane amount of work we put in was...
it paid off. It was worth it. We tackled some data sets that were just, this is going to take a good 100 hours to clean, maybe. Is it worth it? It was worth it.
Not to throw SARIG, the South Australia, under the bus, but there was no way to download drill holes in the data set, so we spent all day manually downloading little chunks. So it's been, although we use a lot of advanced data science techniques, there was a lot of manual aspects to our approach. So yeah, it's just awesome that we won. We build something that's usable. It's like when you first start data science, you start thinking about, you're going to predict everything and it's awesome and AI and all that hype. But the hard reality is that when you're trying to introduce a new technique, for example, here for data science, you need to prove to the business how it actually works. So a lot of data science in the business, people scream out for how do we understand why it arrives at a prediction. So trying to take a cynical, realistic view of how can you actually prove the benefit of this is so important when it's not a casual competition, but you're actually trying to prove to like business orientated people your data science approach. Heaps.
Yeah, lots of coffee, admittedly some energy drinks as well.
Lots of energy drinks, being people of the data nerd background. Even the last night, we were punching on till 7 a.m. So we were zombies by the end of it, trying to get everything done before the deadline finished. So it's pretty crazy.
The most rewarding was seeing our conception come through to a finished product towards the end. It's really satisfying when it comes together, and it came together in the best possible way in this case. So.
Just in time. It was like, it was lots of different iterations. So finally having all the blocks put together at the very end was like, it was very rewarding, and knowing just how much potential our approach has, or any of these approaches has, is really exciting. We barely scratched the surface on some of the data sets we collected. So taking that forward is going to be interesting. Take the time to think about what needs to be done. So a lot of data is being collected, but now it's obviously, it needs to be improved, streamlined, trying to get data science, like algorithms working on a national scale. It's very slow. So the next step would be to try and like scale it up and allow us to apply these approaches to lots of different tenements and see which ones are available, which ones are about to expire, lots of different approaches to try going forward. We have to shout out to our other team member, Glenn, who's in Perth. Unfortunately, he can't join us in lovely Melbourne, but
I think he's on his way now to come celebrate with us.
Yeah, we told him he's going to have to come over to Melbourne to celebrate if we win. So hopefully he's booking the flights now. And yeah, just also I'd like to thank all the GOs that we reached out during the competition, Alex Pitt and Sam Oil and all the other kind of contacts that our time in the industry has allowed us to use. And just thanks to Oz Minerals for getting on the big data bandwagon. It's really hard to try and like exploration geology. It's been set in its ways for decades. So having them take the big step into the unknown and like release their data and try this new approach is like, I think it's going to pay off. But yeah, big thanks to such a forward-thinking approach.
I really think it's going to open up the pathway to data science and geoscience working hand in hand for uncovering stuff in the future. So, yeah.
From my part, it was kind of realizing some of the new advances in model interpretability that allowed us to apply pretty advanced data science algorithms, but could still be interpreted by the existing exploration geologists, it was like, oh wait, this is actually like, no one knows about these new techniques because everyone's trying to look at the latest like deep learning approach. No one really cares about interpretability. So that was kind of like, whoa, this is a key competitive edge. And Jesse, if you want to talk about some of the SARIG, or some of the data issues we found, like the fault lines, that was also like, whoa.
I guess it just comes, we always focus on the national data sets for the majority of our learning, but everyone has different standards, different labels for the same thing. And so we realized we couldn't just chuck everything in together, and we really actually had to analyze each of the data sets individually, which if we hadn't have done that, then it would have actually broken down our model, I think. So that was an important realization for us.